ke aku I kana ele I ala I ke ki ohu e kaua koko. O na kinu malu I talani malu e oi. E ho'olu mai mako. O mako no. O mako no. O mako no.
Well, it's more than historic today. It's almost a phenomenon. I've been to lots of ceremonies, and I've been to lots of signing, and all of it was important. There's no question about it. But I just can't think of anything that I've ever been associated with that. I guess the only word to say is a thrill to be here. It really is a thrill to be here. It makes my heart pump, beat faster. And it put a smile on my face and in my heart, and I'm sure it does for everybody here. We talk so much about the idea of the aloha spirit, about persevering with patience and try to be gentle with one another, and ho'oponopono, to sit down and talk things over and try to come to a conclusion that benefits all. We talk about being stewards of the land and our obligations, and we talk about it and we mean it. I mean, everybody means it. I'm sure they mean it. But to be able to actually bring it to three-dimensional reality and to know that you're associated with something. I'm looking at William right now because, William's run for governor before, right? It's one of the things we always talk about. You know what this is like, where you have promises and you have dreams and you want to be associated with whatever you do. And when William agreed to become the head of DLNR, we had dreams. I'm looking at people like Clayton and Ray and I'd have to name everybody in the room. I'm just thinking about in the election side of things, electoral side of things. You want to have whatever you're doing to have some meaning, to have some substance beyond yourself. It's not so much ambition; it's hope, and it's not personal. It's interesting how quickly you subsume yourself in the process, especially one like this. That's why I'm so pleased to be able to do this today as the Kia Aina, as the governor. It says the Kia Aina, and when you go to Mary Kavena Pukui's dictionary, you find, it's the prop of the land. The governor is supposed to be kind of like a mast on the hokulea, right? The mast on the ship. It's supposed to, whoever is governor has to have a solid course to be set. And what could manifest it more than this? And I want to, in that context, just read to you something that I said in my State of the State address, because I think it has something to do with some direction about the financing, because I know that there's some concern about this kind of slapped together scheme that came up at the end. I can assure you that the financing's in order. I can assure everyone here that we're going to move ahead straightforwardly. And I can assure you on the head of my Attorney General, David Louis, that this is going to take place. And in that context, I want to say, when back at the State of the State message in January, there are times for planning, there are times for acting. Now is the time to preserve open spaces at Turtle Bay. The dispute over the expansion of the resort into adjacent coastal and open lands has been going on for decades. Whether in courts or in permitting proceedings within the North Shore community or in the community at large, this issue has been divisive and disruptive. I am requesting authority to use general obligation bonds to obtain a conservation easement of more than 600 acres at the site. This guarantees these lands will remain open and free of development and open to public access in perpetuity. We need to make this investment to secure these lands so they do not become a temptation for development and urbanization. That was back in January. And in conjunction with some of the folks who will be speaking here today, we moved forward. And I want to pay particular tribute to Blake Oshiro and to David Louie. Blake was Blake, stand up. No, stand up, Blake. Oh, he is standing, sorry. We see eye to eye on matters of standing up when people say stand up. If there's a master of legislation more capable than Blake Oshiro, I don't know who it is. If there's anybody who is more capable in terms of bringing people together and with a calm and considered, and sober and serious approach, pull issues and people together, it's Blake Oshiro. And then to be able to do the final negotiations and see to it that everybody was treated fairly and that we could put it together in legal terms, it was David Louie. David, please, stand up. And so everyone came together. The conservation easement is an idea that for those who aren't familiar with it, it's on our website. We've got a frequently asked question outline on conservation easements, what they are, why landowners should consider them, why communities can take advantage of them, how one size doesn't fit all, and they're flexible. It's a terrific opportunity. We used it in the Resources Committee in the Congress for the 20 years I was there. We used it again and again in all kinds of contexts and circumstances, and I'd do it again in a second. And in that context, then, I want to pay particular attention to and thank Drew and everyone associated with Turtle Bay. I don't think everybody fully is cognizant of the fact that while we're doing the official signing today, we've also made an agreement that includes the 469 acres of agricultural zoned open space land, MAUCA, of the highway. So when we're talking about this settlement today, we're also talking about the same kind of a sense of aloha that we had for one another, working with the city and the state, the federal government, the North Shore Community Land Trust, and the Trust for Public Land. We're in the final stages of doing this conservation easement for 469 acres for ag. So what we're really talking about here today, think about it, is 1,134.8 acres of land, and more than land, of opportunity. That's what we're talking about. And at the same time, then, I think we've recognized the legitimate both rights and desires of Turtle Bay for its development in terms of what it proposes to do. I think we'll respect and complement what will be our obligation once the easement takes place, once the signing takes place today and the financing comes into place. So I want to thank everybody here that worked to bring this about, and you're going to hear from the other folks as well very, very shortly. This will ensure that the country stays country. This sets the standard. This sets the standard for negotiations and discussions, not just on the island of Oahu, but statewide as to how we can resolve the various issues. This ensures perpetual access to the beaches, perpetual public access where appropriate. It will put in miles and miles of hiking trails, for example. Just coming down here today, this is the first time in years. I guess some years ago I was down around this area, but right, Nancy? I think we were at one point, but it's been so long I couldn't remember. Just coming down, it made my heart pound because I was thinking, this is going to be just fabulous. It's just going to be wonderful, and to be able to see this come to fruition then is just marvelous. There will be $40 million from the state. We put that in. As I say, the financing got a little kapakahi at the end, but we managed to work that out. We have $5 million from the city and county of Honolulu. The mayor can't be here today, and Ernie Martin, I saw Ernie earlier today at the Y, and he sends his regrets. Ernie was key in seeing to that we got the $5 million. We needed that. We needed that complementary cooperation. So between the mayor and the city council, it was just fundamental and crucial. And then, of course, the Trust for Public Land said if we could come up with that 45, and when David and Drew and the other folks and Blake were able to come to an agreement on the numbers, the $3.5 million there from the Trust for Public Land enabled us to seal the deal. So the legislature, led by Clayton He, who never, ever once gave up on anything that we were going to try to accomplish here. His steadfastness is a mark of the kind of character that he has displayed in his legislative life throughout his career. So it remains for me then to say that this exercise, if you will, in government, this capacity to take the opportunity that we have here in Paradise, to honor it and respect it, has as a shining example this conservation easement. And to the degree and extent I can assure you that I have the opportunity to implement it, I will surely do so with a full heart and with joy that we were able to honor the legacy that is represented here at Turtle Bay. Thank you very much.